shocking news and also a heartbreaking news as well, coming from Haifa, Israel. There was an incident that happened in Israel I think it happened yesterday if I'm not mistaken. Iranian missile struck in Haifa. Haifa is one of the state or city in Israel, or rather one of the provinces in Israel. And 4 people died on that attack. But it will shock you to know that the 4 people that died there, according to the information reaching me here, allegedly, 3 of them were Igbo Jews. Biafran Jews. So, when the Prime Minister got information about what happened, he went there and he wept. Some people don't understand what it means. And some people will see it as just a normal. But let me tell you what happens. He made a statement. He said, I am sorry to my Biafran brothers that lost their lives in this attack. And he promised, he said, this word I said today will remain relevant till this word vanish. And that statement is what shocked everybody. He says, and I quote, Biafrans, please, I am sorry that I could not protect your brothers living in my country because of the crisis going on in the Middle East. But I promise I will make it up to you guys. I am coming for you. You can as well fact check me. Go out there, you will see the message. And I also have a similar message that a similar clip of what happened in Haifa that I'm going to play to us here so that we get to understand this is not a propaganda, this is a pure message. Oga Maazi Chukwuwike Benjamin Netanyahu weeps for Biafra in Haifa when he visited there. He's not weeping because these people were able to get hold of 4 lives in his territory. He's weeping because it happens to the people he cherishes and loves so much. The way the way Netanyahu loves Israel and the territorial integrity of Israel is the way he loves Biafra and the territorial integrity of Biafra. Some people may bring this argument now, where we are him all these years. My brother, listen to me and listen good though. There's something we don't understand. I want to bring your mind back because some people will say, after all, they are seeing social media. Listen and listen good. The way me and you visit social media is not the same way this guy visits social media. The way we interact on social media is not the same way these guys interact on social media. May I revise your mind back before 2023 general selection of Bola Ahmed Tinubu? What happens? The video is out there. I think I attached it on one of my videos I published a couple of days ago, where he said that he barely go to internet again because they abuse him like say tomorrow no day. Now what did Bola Ahmed Tinubu talk? So a lot of people will say, after all, this thing have been happening, Biafra have been facing all these things for all this while. My brother, these people, their handlers might not be reading the message we are bringing or all the whole videos and giving it to them. Unless the one they mistakenly, maybe from their family member. Because their handles always provide things that is relevant within their own territory, not outside their territory. Their handlers, sorry, not handle. Their handlers. They are social media handlers, let me put it that way. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to clarify. Some people will say, where were him all these years? Don't worry, my brother. Benjamin Netanyahu, or Benjamin Chukwuwike Netanyahu, something we call Obiara late, Ibiara Ngwangwa. He came late, but he came so fast. And don't forget, this kind of people never come late to a party. Even if the party don't start from 6 o'clock in the morning and they come in the evening, my brother, that party has to start in the evening. They never come late to party. Now, men that matters. So if you want to bring the argument now, where we are him all these years, my brother, I will answer you at the comment section. Just drop your own argument and we take it up from there. Okay, Netanyahu expresses sorrow over the 3 Biafran Jews that died in Haifa and pledges support. Child, it is painful. Anyway, let me play this. Let me play this. Netanyahu speaks with Haifa Mayor Yonah Yahiv after the Iranian strike. Stay in protected spaces. Please stay away from anything public space in Haifa for now. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, please. I don't even forget myself, so I see the on.
Netanyahu speaks with Haifa mayor after Iranian missile strike kills 4. Urges public to follow home front command instructions. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu expressed deep sorrow over the deaths of 4 people in Haifa and pledged government assistance to the victims' families and the city, while stressing the importance of heeding civil defense guidelines during the ongoing missile attacks from Iran. In a video statement released on Monday, Netanyahu said he had just spoken with Haifa Mayor Yonah Yahav following the deadly strike on a residential building in the northern Israeli city the previous night. I just spoke with Haifa Mayor Yonah Yahav and expressed my deep sorrow over the tragic loss of 4 lives in Haifa, Netanyahu stated. Yonah Yahav asked for several things, and I immediately instructed the Director General of my office to provide as much assistance as possible, both to the families and to the municipality. The 4 fatalities occurred after an Iranian ballistic missile struck a residential building in Haifa on Sunday night, April 5th, 2026, causing it to partially collapse. Rescue teams worked through the night and into Monday to recover the bodies of the victims, who included an elderly couple, a man in his 40s, and a 35-year-old woman. Several others were injured in the attack, and emergency services evacuated dozens of residents from nearby buildings. Netanyahu highlighted a key message that emerged from his conversation with the mayor. Strict adherence to the guidelines of the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, Home Front Command, can dramatically reduce the risk of harm. The important point that came up again in the conversation is one simple principle, he said. Anyone who follows the instructions of the Home Front Command and is in a protected space has almost no chance of being harmed. He addressed the public directly, with a special emphasis on residents of northern Israel who have faced repeated attacks. Therefore, I ask all of you, citizens of Israel, and the residents of the North in particular, who are currently going through this very difficult ordeal, and I know how hard it is for you, we will help in whatever we can, and I urge you to listen to the directives of the Home Front Command. The strike on Haifa is part of a broader wave of Iranian missile barrages targeting Israel in recent days, amid escalating regional tensions. Israeli officials have repeatedly emphasized that staying in bomb shelters or protected rooms during sirens significantly improves survival rates. Mayor Yahav had requested urgent support for the affected families and the city's response efforts, which Netanyahu said would be expedited. This incident comes as Israel continues to defend against missile and rocket fire from Iran and its proxies, with the Home Front Command issuing ongoing safety instructions to the public. As rescue and recovery operations conclude in Haifa, the government has committed to standing by the city and those impacted by the attack.
That is the message from Oga Benji Chukwuwike Netanyahu. He waits for the people that lost their lives, most especially the Biafrans in their midst. Not because he didn't love his own people, but because he feels it is his duty and priority to save foreigners, most especially his Jewish brothers from the eastern part of Nigeria. Another information dropped. IPOB's lawyers, Barrister Nnemeka Ejiofor, claims God sent Nnamdi Kanu to prison to expose his true disciples. Okay, that's part of the news that we're going to take this morning as we move forward. And according to the information here, in a recent statement to one of the Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers, Barrister Nnemeka Ejiofor, suggested that God allows Nnamdi Kanu to be sentenced. He framed the life imprisonment handed down by Justice James Omotosho. The life sentence handed down by Injustice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court on November of 2025 as part of a divine plan to reveal his true disciples and expose betrayers within the Biafran struggle. This theological spin is not only theologically shallow but also strategically damaging to the very cause it claims to defend, turning legal failure into divine will, according to Nnemeka Ejiofor. Okay, he said this approach shifts responsibility away from human agency, including the performance of the defense team, and places it in the realm of unscrutable divine purpose. It is demoralizing to IPOB members who expect these lawyers to fight aggressively in the cause rather than preach failure as spiritual divine. History is littered like movements that collapsed when leaders or their representatives began interpreting setbacks as God's mysterious will instead of analyzing tactical, legal, or organizational failures. Invoking God to explain a life sentence can easily sound like an admission of defeat wrapped in piety. Nnamdi Ejiofor Kanu said, in the struggle for self-determination, betrayal of leaders has always been there. It is not a new thing. The father of Biafra struggle, General Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu suffered an attempted coup, which was dealt with immediately. Ralph Wazirike in his Masop days, when he was incarcerated in prison. One of his followers visited Warwick Arsenal, South London, where a meeting was called for the diaspora to affirm Oheago as new leader. It was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that stood his ground and made sure the plot failed. The convener of the meeting was Enyinaya Amadekwa. Ralph Wazirike, in frustration, concluded that Ndi Igbo is not worth dying for. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has seen this before now. He knew it will happen. Perhaps Chukwuoke Abiama allowed him to be in prison so as to reveal his true disciples. Who knows? It's obvious that the plan of Ndi Oboda Nkedi Ojo is to make Mazi Nnamdi Kanu hate the Igbos and abandon the struggle, or make Ndi Igbo to hate him and abandon him, or to ultimately destroy the IPOB platform, which plans will never work. But ikukukuo afọ ike ọkụkọ anya. The music is reaching the Surugede level. God, still God, and still on the throne. This one is from Chukwuemeka Abi. Okay, while internal betrayals have plagued many nationalist movements worldwide, repeatedly framing every major setback as the work of traitors within risks creating a paranoid atmosphere. When a lawyer publicly speculates that God put his client in prison to reveal true disciples, it can fuel suspicion and witch hunts among IPOB rather than any unity. Faith can sustain people through hardship, but when lawyers representing a high-profile client begin sounding more like pastors than advocates, it raises legitimate concerns about whether the legal battle is receiving the sharp, focused attention it requires. However, suggesting that a life sentence is divinely ordained to expose traitors is admission of incompetency. True leadership, according to him, he said true leadership, or rather true legal representatives, confront setbacks, adaptation, and unrelenting pressures on the system, not by theologizing failure. God may indeed be on the throne, as Ejiofor asserts, but in earthly cause and political struggles, outcomes usually depend on evidence, strategy, preparation, and execution. Supporters of the Biafran cause deserve more than spiritual coup. They deserve lawyers who fight tenaciously in court, who learn from history rather than merely reciting his betrayals. That is what the writer of this message said, or rather that is what he speculates. But to me, I don't see anything, whether he called God or he did not call God. After all, everybody believed in miracles. So maybe this is another miracle that is going to happen in the Christian space, if I'm allowed to use that word. But if this word may annoy you, I beg, I'm sorry. But whichever way it takes you each, my brother, Biafra is here already. Nnamdi Kanu is out already. And don't forget, 70% of the people, and 70% of Nigerians, 70%, that is about over 200 million people in Nigeria support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's freedom. So who are you? My people, I beg now, you go take back break, you like, share, comment, and make sure you keep subscribing for more interesting videos coming your way. Hear my voice again when I come back. Catch you next time.